Are we? Oh, we're live now.
Hi.
Say hello. Okay, and make sure my video doesn't interrupt our video. Anyway, Melanie, go ahead and say hi. I'm just fixing something.
Hi, guys. We're here to discuss A Time to Die by Nadine Brandes. Brandes. I guess I should have asked her beforehand. But yeah, like my overall thoughts. I guess I'll start with that. Do you want me to start with that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So 4 out of 5 stars. Really nice, really awesome, on the edge of the seat of your chair for most of it. And yeah, pretty intense, but 4 out of 5 stars, really liked it. I was really happy we picked this book. What did you think? Overall thoughts?
Well, okay, so Time to Die, it's a dystopian, it's in a post-apocalyptic dystopian, and it's kind of, oh man, it's hard to explain because it really doesn't do the biblical end times. Like it's
More
pretty.
dystopian, hey?
Yeah, it's more dystopian than like apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic. So I like dystopians more than I like post-apocalyptic because those books traumatized me as a child. So I prefer dystopian, like for real. So for Time to Die, for as far as dystopians go, I really enjoyed this. And like, oh my gosh, edge of my seat. And I don't read. I had an ebook. I didn't get the. Oh, that's a lot of glare.
I was like, whoa, I can't even see it.
Anyway, ebook, just on the phone. So I don't have an e-reader. I have an ebook, and I read it like 2-3 days, which is actually really good for an ebook.
I wonder how many people actually got the ebook or physical copy.
Oh, well, let us know in the comments if you guys have the ebook or physical copy. So, because we have a couple people watching.
Cool.
So, yeah, like for an ebook, I read it really fast, and there's so much happening, but it wasn't like throw it all in there for no purpose and just for action. Everything had a purpose, a meaning, a connection, and just so much happened to this girl. Like, oh Lord.
Oh, yeah. So what did you think about all that? I guess
Oh my
you want to start with plot or world?
Let's start with the overall plot. Oh, and we have somebody who has not read it yet, so maybe.
Okay, no spoilers.
Spoiler free. We promise. We'll try.
Well, as long as we don't give any details, we can kind of give like overall plot sort of
ideas.
Yeah. No spoilers.
We'll try. We don't promise anything.
We're really bad for it, but we won't, I promise.
Yeah.
We'll do our best. We'll try to catch each other, and you guys catch us too if you see it's kind of leaning towards too much.
Yeah. Oh, we got Lex and Carrie and username Love at First Page. So hello, everybody.
Hello.
Okay. So plot. Okay. So like I said, this book was dystopian. It follows Parvin. We're also really bad at name pronunciations, guys.
Parvin Blackwater, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's Parvin.
Yeah, Blackwater. This one to me was actually easy for me to say, and I was like, yes, I have a name that's not weird.
And I'm like,
Willow. We have Willow.
Yeah,
and hawks. The two hawks.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of really good characters in here. But anyway, like for plot, like it starts off, and I liked how the plot started off. The whole idea, so the whole premise of the book is that you have a clock of how much life you have, essentially, which is just a freaky moment. And when I think about it, it's like, do I want a clock and know how much time I have left, or do I not want a clock and not know how much time I have left, which is essentially our lives now. But there's no care for spoilers. Okay, well, this
isn't a spoiler. It's actually what it's about. So yeah.
No, she said she doesn't care about spoilers.
So. Okay, perfect.
Okay, so that gives a little bit more freedom.
Yeah.
But, like, I wouldn't know if I would want a clock or like have a clock like some characters and then get rid of their clock. And like,
Yeah, okay, so
you know,
that brings up a bit of the world building too.
yeah.
So let's just kind of go back a little bit to the world building. I thought, like, because as you're going through this, you're kind of working through the world with her and you're seeing the world through her eyes. And she's basically, like, some of the premise is that basically she's wasted her life up to this point that now is going to matter because she has literally 1 year left. And this isn't a spoiler, it's totally legit. It actually even has the numbers on the side. These, oh, you can't see them. I don't know if you can see them, guys, but this is actually the numbers she has left on the side. And so she's like, I got a year left. It's coming down to the wire. And what have I done with my life? And she kind of looks at her brother and she's like, yo, he's had like a great life and he's done all these things. And she's kind of just been depressed and wasted her life because she thought, I only have this much time. I'm ripped off from time. And, you know, she kind of gets a little bit in a bit of funk. And then all of a sudden she's kind of faced with a couple options because she really wants to protect these people who are being thrown off the wall. And so this builds the world. So there's this encased world that they live in. And then, but these rebels who, like Angela was saying, destroy their clock, get thrown off the wall or through the wall gates.
And they might not even just like have destroyed their clock. They could, like, in certain cases, they might not have a clock just because the way the society is set up, a woman gets
it's really weird.
Clocks. Yeah, a woman gets 2 blank clocks, and they do some bio thing to sync those clocks with the children that are born.
Yeah.
And if you have like quadruplets or twins or not like quadruplets or triplets, like
or
you're
if you have
because you only have 2 clocks
in a row or 5 like me, like you're kind of messed up, like, and then it doesn't give them any opportunity, and then it poses a huge issue. And so that's that contained world. Now talking about worlds, then we follow her. I don't think it's a spoiler. Yeah, it says what she finds on the other side about the world. This is in the back, so we're not spoiling you. About God and about herself changes Parvin forever and might just save her people. So now we see another world outside of that, but there's also this sub-world in this forest, which was
that was
interesting thing. So there was kind of like 3 worlds happening. So it was a little interesting.
But she does them, like, the plot and like I said, like, nothing was in there that felt useless or felt disconnected. Everything connected well.
Some kind of new edge to the story.
Yeah, and so it was really fascinating that way. And like for plot wise, like it just chugged along so well and then really built up. Like when the book first begins, like I identified with Parvin, yeah. Parvin, I identified with her so much because
was there somebody commenting?
That whole idea of wasting your life. And like when I'm 30 and I'm just kind of starting a career. I'm still like rent sharing with parents. Like, and when you look at other people who are my age, they have like careers or kids or their own house, or they bought their own house like when they were 25 or something crazy. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And then just that drive to, I want to be remembered. I want to do something cool. I want people to see me.
Yeah.
And, like, I was like, wow, girl, I feel you. Like,
that was really interesting twist on it. Like, and just the motive behind why she wanted to do stuff. I actually was thrown off by the whole biography, and we find that out right in the beginning of the book. So it's not a huge spoiler, but she wants to do a biography about herself. And this is what spins the plot into motion. But it was really interesting, that idea and that concept. It was an autobiography, right? What is it called?
Well, it was a biography, but
it's of herself, so it's like, what is it? Is it autobiography? She was affected in it.
She did get some help, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And
he's an interesting character. Can't we talk about him?
Yeah. But Oh, we got some comment. Is it like an Esther type thing? It's not an Esther type thing,
Oh, no, it's
but
not Esther. Oh, that's a
there's
very
definitely,
interesting concept, though.
but I don't think it's an Esther type thing. It's
You know,
the,
to relate it to something biblical, like a character in the Bible, it would be really difficult. It would almost be like,
see, I don't think you
Pilgrim's
could.
Progress.
Yeah, it's more like that too.
It's
Like
yeah,
I
I
haven't
would.
read it, but like I know the gist of
It's
it.
not a
But
biblical concept, but like if you follow Christian's life in in Pilgrim's Progress, I would say that that's very similar to our character in this book and her journey of
yeah,
discovery and relationship with God and things like that. I think that's more of a something similar.
and her faith really fluctuated at some points too. Like just some of the things she went
Yeah.
through and how she kind of went like up and down.
Well,
And
yeah, but
a
you
lot
got
of
to
that
think
flowed with the
she
plot.
went through a lot. So, like, you have like a lot of things happening to her that would make you question if this was God's will or not. You know?
Yeah, and, like it sounds like a lot of people. I have a couple people that um identified with Parvin too, and like that's there was so many moments where as the story went on where I just identified with her and carried with her, and a lot about was her. I guess we'll just jump right in the faith elements here because
Yeah.
that's where we went. So like with the faith elements, I really liked how real her faith seemed and how they didn't make God seem far away, but he spoke to her the way.
Yeah, I really like that
Yeah,
part. I really like that when she would question, sometimes God wouldn't answer her, and then all of a sudden there'd be a still small voice
yeah.
that that she'd be like, wait a minute, is that God? You know,
What
and it
does
was
that mean? Like, he gave her the answer, or he silently gave her the answer, or like,
which is very true to life, actually. I really related to that.
yeah, like something terrible could be happening to them that ended up being their salvation at one point. And like there was that moment in the ravine where they were stuck in
Oh
that
yeah, yeah,
and they couldn't
yes, yes.
yeah, and like um oh my gosh, what am I saying? Yeah,
What was
so
the
when they were
comment?
stuck there,
What was the comment? Because I missed.
what uh, what comment?
Were you looking at the comments or something?
No,
Oh,
well I was because where are you guys live from? It's past 9 for me in the States. Whoa, what side of
wow.
the States are you
We're
on?
Pacific Standard Time. That's what
Yeah,
we are.
thanks for staying up.
Yeah, you're amazing. You're
I'm like,
wonderful.
bedtime.
Just grab some chocolate milk or milk and chocolate chip cookies and then hang out with us for a little bit longer.
Yeah. And then you get a couple people saying like her faith wasn't perfect, but her faith was so real.
That's why it wasn't perfect, because we're not perfect. So we do question things and we kind of like I found it really genuine actually, and quite like real, like you're saying.
And even like at first you look at kind of her faith was kind of because her parents weren't really the instigators or the teachers of her faith. They just allowed their kids to choose if they wanted to.
Which was kind of
And
borderlining in I think what the feel I got was like that they weren't allowed to have this faith, but we haven't found out why.
yeah,
So it's kind of
because it
still
does
an intrigue there.
yeah, because it does say like at one point that you can't teach religion to children under 18.
Yeah.
And Parvin in the story is only 16. She turns 18.
Yeah, she's pretty.
So she already has an established faith and she has her brother, but it seems like he was more the one teaching and guiding her. And then when she gets separated from him, she has to make that faith her own and
Yeah.
she has to um, work with that without that extra support.
The one thing I thought was really interesting too, and a little bit kind of threw me off, was the shalom. And because maybe I don't know much about um, the original, like the Jewish kind of words and things like that, I was a little bit like, shalom. She did have a definition there, but it kind
Yeah.
of like made me almost like stop and pause, but it disconnected me from the story, which is kind of interesting because it was one of the motivators for her throughout
Yeah.
the book. But just, I don't know why it did that. I don't know if anybody else felt the same way, but it kind of did that a small bit. But her faith and her questions and like the things that she went through was super genuine, and I could totally relate to those.
I did like the way she did explain that, though, like when
Yeah.
Carvin was looking at like what broken shalom is, like what broken peace is.
Yeah.
And that's not how God intended the world to be. Like when she was in that one area within that other world, that was
Yes.
just really upsetting. Actually, I did not like that part. But it was just really upsetting where they have these ideas of like, okay, this is how you pay for it. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, okay, that whole set of the world building was a little bit interesting for me, and I had a really hard time with it. Like, really, I don't know if anybody else did, but I did. I mean, I still like it. I still liked because it tied in at the end, but it was just like, oh, I need to forgive these people. I need to forgive these people. Oh man, this is really tough.
Yeah, she was going through that too with like, and having that understanding of what the broken world looks like, and when people kind of take it on themselves. And it was really well, like throughout the book, you didn't lose any of that. Nothing got lost, nothing got also bogged down, because sometimes I feel when we're threading through a person's faith or faith elements, they can just get so overloaded that you're like, okay, reading what is that called? I forget, but I'm not reading a college textbook. I'm reading a fictional story.
Nonfiction, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was trying to think, what's a concordance?
Academic.
Yeah, like, I'm not reading I'll remember. Yes, I did 3 years of Bible school, and I can't remember what it. Commentary.
Okay. Woo!
Ooh, does it have like a fantasy feel? I have a hard time with fantasy. Seriously, world building too much. Oh.
You start
Okay,
out.
so the world building, like when we say world building, like we even mentioned like world building when we talk about contemporary books, just how an author kind of brings you into a world and introduces you. So this could be anywhere from like the way Melanie Dickerson talks about historical time period. So, like,
what about fantastical elements?
I wouldn't say it's fantastical because there's no magical elements.
Sci-fi.
There's a bit of a sci-fi, but I wouldn't call it a fantasy.
Yeah.
You
definitely need to. There's
the
imagination that goes into the world building, but as a fantasy, it's not a super heavy fantasy where you can't imagine the world. Like when we talk about world building, like for example, which is not a spoiler, there's tightrope walking, and they do this naturally. I would fall, but anyways.
That part was terrible. Ooh, first live show with us. Yay. Hi,
Yay.
Haley.
Hi, thank you.
I'm so glad so many of you guys could join us. And apparently she's not staying up past her bedtime. It's perfect.
Oh, that's okay. No worries. We're just happy you even came for a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, I wish I could show you right now. There's a squirrel. I have a pet squirrel, and he's coming for food. Oh, I wish I could. Can I show you guys? Oh, I don't know. Sorry, diverting. I'm so sorry. Okay, go on.
Also, if this is your first live show with us, we have a serious problem with being distracted.
It's probably mostly my fault. But anyways, go on. Let's keep going.
Yeah, so like
fantastical world building elements.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of this takes place in the United States, and it mentions Canada once. There's a Canadian
actually a couple
entrance.
Times. There's a border.
So like you're kind of looking at a destroyed our world in the future, and so you have all of the states, the provinces, but they're kind of renamed because it got ruined.
And
So
it's actually really relatable to today's world, like especially in the States with the building of the wall. So you already kind of imagine how it would look and feel and different things like that. So in that sense, it's very relatable. And so that world building is seriously relatable. So it's not something fantastical where you have to really think outside of your normal everyday sort of life in a sense.
somebody just said, I want a pet squirrel.
I
But
know,
all I get is
it's
a bunch
so
of
cute.
wild sandhill cranes. That's funny.
It's so cute. It's so adorable. But there's a couple of them. Anyways, I'll talk for a while on it. So, back to the book.
It's like Doug from Up. Squirrel.
I know, I'm so bad. Okay, so we talked about the world. Okay, so in the world itself, they also had, which was so cool, and I wish we had that today, the emotographs or something, where they prick the finger
Yeah.
and you feel their
It's
emotion.
like Instagram, but with your emotions, and then you get to feel other people's emotions.
Yeah.
So like if Melanie took a picture with this thing, or I would feel whatever emotions Melanie had while she was taking that picture and that experience.
Yeah.
That's some high-end technology though there, Melanie.
It was incredible. I was like, wow, that's so cool. So I mean, like, so it's scientific and it's something you can still relate to, so it's not hard to imagine.
Yeah. And let's talk about the characters, because I got a comment that I'm reading your usernames, was frustrated with the albino independent village leader. And I think all of us
would have to agree.
Yeah, like all of us would have to agree, because that's where a lot of this idea of broken shalom came, and their ideas and stuff, and you're just like, how much more can we beat this into your head? Like,
oh man, like it was like really tough, and I would have to completely agree. And then in the end, it even got tougher. It wasn't better.
yeah,
there was an opportunity for grace and mercy to be received and like worked out, and it was totally not.
no.
Without giving spoilers, but it was
that was also really realistic though, because people have the opportunity to accept that. And in that village, you did have these other two characters, and I wish I could remember their names, that did show that grace, and that Parvin was able to pass on.
What is the tree? It's all trees.
Yeah.
Not below. It's oh man. No, I do know what you're talking about. I'll try to find it while you keep chatting.
Yeah. So those characters, they had that opportunity and they accepted it. But even without knowing the truth that Parvin brought to them, they were already kind of, halfway there, but not understanding why. And then she kind of because they had a bit of truth to what they were practicing.
Mm-hmm. There's so much in this. Like, I'm so glad. I'm sorry to interrupt you. There's so much in this. Like, I'm so glad even that we're gonna get. I haven't read book 2 or book 3, and I don't know who has, but like, there's so many unanswered questions. Like the high city. There's a whole bunch of other things that are taking place. People she meets later in the book that you're like, what is going on here, and you want to find out more. So even in that, it is incredibly just, it makes you want to read the entire series. I think actually even one of our friends on YouTube, Little Prairie, she was like, I need the second book now. Was it her?
Yeah.
Was it her?
I think it was Felicia.
Yeah, she was like, I need the second book now. And I'm like, I relate.
Oh, Alder. Yeah, Alder was.
That's what it is. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
But I'm thinking about the couple, because she had the one woman that took care of her that was pregnant.
Oh.
And then her husband that was kind of very stoic.
That was the leader.
No, that was another guy. Because He was kind of a jerk.
Yeah, I think he was the leader. What do you guys?
No, there was another. There was the couple. So there was Willow, who's the young one.
Yeah.
The
And then
Alder, who's
she's gonna be what's it called? How did we drafted? I was like, oh my goodness, it's so funny.
But anyway, there is that couple. But then you have some more. You have some more other characters. So you have her parents.
Yeah.
They have her parents, which I could neither here nor there for them. Although like I got a little bit understanding of what her mom, like there was that one moment with her mom.
That was an interesting character. Yeah.
Where she read her mom's journal and it says, "I have a daughter, I am cursed."
Yeah.
And that was like a really good moment with her mom to kind of explain, because her mom wasn't a woman of many words. So, and Parabin kind of felt that way to read those books. And Ash and Black.
Ash and Black, yes.
That's the couple. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like her mom.
I kind of liked Ash.
Her parents were just people of very little words, and it's almost like to add to her feeling of not doing anything with her life. Her mom kind of like added that to her by like you're not up yet, like, and she's like, you wasted 300 days, like.
And it was kind of interesting, like seeing those personal journals and seeing how it was very clipped and things like that. But there was a couple mysterious things about her mom. Even towards the end that I'm not going to say, but I question, like in the beginning she's questioned on certain things, and in the end she's questioned. So I'm kind of interested to see what kind of role the mom plays in the second book.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of people. I think most of our viewers are from the southern United States. Because
are you all going to bed?
No, Haley said the way y'all say mom.
Oh, mom?
So, yeah, and then, of course, I got a couple of y'alls through here.
Yes.
So, like,
I have said y'all before, but I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm probably totally butchering your guys' accent. But I would think it's funny because, like, so how do you guys say mom? Can you give us, like, a way to say it in writing?
I know, I let y'all say
mom, or is it mom?
But I blame the fact that I was born in Tennessee, so.
Yeah, it comes out. Like, yeah, you've got, like, both. You're, like, mixed, so it's cool.
Yeah, but I was, like, 3 years old when I moved to Canada, so.
Yeah.
Okay, they say it mom, M-A-W-M.
Mom? Oh, mom. Like
mom.
Is that right, guys?
Okay. Yeah, and we say like mom, like almost like
M-U-M or something.
M-U-M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually.
Okay. Oh, we got somebody from Texas. See, I told you.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, no, I say mommy, actually. I'm like my mommy. That's what I say.
Oh, I wish I had an awesome Canadian accent.
Do you actually like our accent? I think it's so plain. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes. Okay, okay, awesome.
Oh,
so that's fun. Where were we? Characters, yes. So mom.
Right. Sidetracks. Okay.
Yeah. So we say it the British way, apparently. Well, we are part of the Commonwealth.
Yes.
So
I do agree. It's probably more British than it is.
Yeah, we got somebody from Louisiana, from Texas. Yep.
Woohoo! That's so fun.
Got a yeehaw in there too.
Louisiana. Awesome. That's really cool. They have really good food there too. I bet you everybody's got good food. Maybe barbecue is probably really good for you guys. We have rain and salmon and buffalo.
Poutine.
And poutine.
And poutine. But okay, back to characters. So
yes.
What was her brother's name?
What is her brother's name? Obviously, he made such an imprint. Oh my, that's.
I know, right?
Reed.
I'm just
Reed. Reed. Is it Reed? No. Yeah, it is.
Reed. Yep. Maybe. Hold on.
It's Reed.
Yeah, it's Reed.
Yes.
Yes, it's Reed. I just found the page. Although it's so hard to review a book when it's on an ebook. I don't have my tabs.
Yeah, I know. And I didn't actually tab this one at all. I didn't want to wreck it this one. But yeah.
Yeah. No, Reed. I liked Reed.
I liked him.
We're not going to go into this, but I liked Reed, although he had a bit of a secret to him, and I think he was the type of character to be envious of, because he decided to just like, well, I have this many days left, I'm going to live as much as I can in these days, and he made a life for himself apart from Paraben and apart from his family almost too, and and then he was encouraging his sister, look, you have this opportunity whether you wanted it or not now, so you should do all you can with it.
Yeah.
And I really liked him, and
I really liked him too. I think his character was just so tender and so loving towards his sister, even if she was kind of being like not tender towards him. He was just like so loving towards her and such a good big brother. And I was just like, wow, that's so nice.
A couple of moments though, I was kind of mad at him. I'm like, why do you keep leaving her? Like, why do you keep
yeah, that was the mystery.
But like I said, he had another life apart from that, and he couldn't really bring the two together yet. But all of these characters seem to have a bit of mystery to them, which I liked, because even as she met Enforcer Hawk has a bit of mystery to them, and then she meets
what's his name?
Jude. Yes. She meets Jude, and Jude has
so cool.
I loved him. Like, he has seriously so much mystery to him that I still don't know anything really solidarily about him.
I know. You know what's really interesting? I watched an interview with Nadine, and she was explaining like a lot of her book and why she wrote it. And she was actually, even as she was working through this, she questioned her own faith and thought about different things and worked actually a lot. She relates to Parvin, she says, is like her. So it's kind of cool. And then she talks about Jude and says she hated Jude and she didn't want to write him. And so yeah, she was like, I didn't like him. I didn't want to write him. And then she's like, I rewrote him so much that he was too likable. So then she had to like scrap that and start all over with his character. So he really had a lot of character development. And you can really feel that when you're reading it, because he's so, 1 minute you're just not sure about him, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, this guy is really cool. But he has such a mystery about him. And she holds that mystery right to the end. But it is really cool.
Yeah, and I think he's a fan favorite because I got a comment that says, my precious, and another comment that has his name in bold. Like, he was a favorite character. I enjoyed him, and I liked their interaction and their banter. They had a good relationship, because at the same time for Paraben, it was a confusing relationship too, because at some point she didn't know if she could trust him, and then at some point she didn't know how their friendship stood, and then there's a lot of guilt in some ways of how she treated them too. So it was very realistic.
Yeah.
Especially like in that betrayal moment that I'm thinking of, she had so much guilt, and she's like, well, this was a sign from God. I was supposed to do this. And the readers are screaming, no, that wasn't the sign. That other part of it that you feel guilty about now was the sign to not.
Yeah,
you're sitting there as a reader and you're like, ah.
Yeah, it was extremely realistic, but I really enjoyed how Jude, like, I just liked his character a lot. Like, even his faults were so relatable, and like, I loved how he would just out of the blue like do things, and I loved it. I just loved his character so much.
And then you took a moment and you're just like, wait, what?
Yeah, like at first when he started getting really frustrated with Parvin, I was kind of like, yo, hang tight, like you're being a little over dramatic here, But then as we find out why he was so on edge, we understand more of his character and his motives. Then we he's such a cool character after that. And even just like some of his background, his history is so interesting and intriguing. And so, but a lot of that I'm hoping gets answered in book number 2.
Yeah, I think a lot of Jude's history is going to play into what happens in book 2.
Yeah.
Like, and then along with the relationship with Jude, there is also that relationship with
the Enforcer.
Yeah, Enforcer Hawk. First name, because Hawk is both their last names.
I don't know.
Wait a minute. Anyway,
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what his first name is. I can't remember it, and I don't know
like
if
I
he
said, I
was.
hate finding
Solomon.
Solomon.
Wasn't it?
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Solomon. And I have another capital letter name. See, those guys were like real winners for me, because as soon as Solomon came onto the scene, I was like, I think I like you.
Yeah, they're both amazing. Like they're just amazing. But one more like dark and mysterious than the other one seems more clean cut. But we just don't know until we find out more about him, right? So we just don't know. We'll learn more, I guess, about him in book 2.
It's really a win-win situation with those two, to be honest.
I know. Yeah. Then what did you think about Skelly Chase?
Ugh.
I almost wore my fedora. I have a pink one.
Don't you dare. I was like, I don't even want to see green fedora.
I know. It's quite, and lemons. When I look at lemons and I smell lemons, I think of Skelly Chase.
Way to go. Now he's even ruined our lives.
I heard, in this interview that I heard, saw Nadine, and the guy who was interviewing her, like, actually really liked Skelly Chase, and she liked writing him. He's quite the mystery. But when she first wrote the first book, she said, I wrote him as such a mysterious guy, and then she's like, I went to go write the next part of the series. She's like, wait a minute, why did he do all that? And she had to like come up with all this like character and what drove him to do all the things he was doing, right? So
and it looks like a lot of comments, again, a lot of capital letters, Olivia. I think she's like yelling the entire chat. But yeah, like Scully is one of those characters that are so good to hate, like Umbridge, from Harry Potter. Like just those, or I can't think of another villain. Umbridge just always the first one that comes to mind. But I love how blunt and sarcastic you are, Angela. Thank you.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so like Scully was just, he's so skeezy. Like, I don't know.
He's really scheming, and you think he's there to help you, and then all of a sudden he's got this back door that he kind of opens, and you're like, wait, what? No,
I know. Like, you think he's gonna help her.
Yeah.
And then it's just like poof. You're like, that is the opposite of helping. And at first you like, still think that plan.
Yeah, I know. And it's not even just like it's opposite. It's like it's dreadfully opposite. It's like the worst nightmare opposite.
But like at the same time, then you thought, okay, that's a terrible idea. And then you start to think, oh, maybe this might actually still work in her favor. And then it goes back to like, no, that is a terrible idea.
He was such an incredible,
really know with him.
What are people saying? Like, what do they like and not like about the characters? Like, especially Skelly Chase.
Loving to hate Scully. Like, it was just a well-written villain, I think.
Yeah,
and I think
extremely well-written.
A lot of unanimous words. Yeah, a lot. We're just all unanimous on this. We're just like, yes, like I love a good, well-written villain, though, and I think I can call Skelly a villain now.
Yes,
because
I don't know, because we have no idea in book number 2 or 3.
Yeah,
we don't know.
I wish I kind of continued, because it would have been nice to like know, but Winter is currently like eating up my life, because I forgot how big that book was when I decided to do Lunar Chronicle
huge reread. Yeah,
Winter is 800 pages. I got to page 400 and I'm like, I am halfway. Wait,
audio on halfway through 400. I'm almost done the book. Oh man, that's so crazy. That'd be like 3 or 4. That's like a month worth of reading right there.
Oh, it looks like Olivia has read all 3 of them because she is just so ecstatic about all of this. And
Really?
she's like, I can't wait till you read the next ones. So,
oh my goodness.
Olivia's beating us all here, so Olivia knows this.
Olivia, when we do the next live shows for these, if we have these for the next ones, like seriously, you have to chime in and let us know certain things. Well, I guess we have to have it spoiler free, but still chime in.
Yeah, I could foresee myself continuing, or just we'll figure something out for the rest of these. But like,
Well, is there any more word on her publisher stuff? Like, have we heard anything about that?
Yeah, so if anyone had I'm missing out
on all the comments. I wish I could see them.
I'm gonna go through this with you sometime, and we'll get you to see the comments.
That's hilarious.
But, yeah, Olivia says it's her favorite trilogy, so that's good to know.
Ooh.
But yeah, so when I talked to Nadine, she said that her publishers are doing some changes. So the first 2 books are no longer available. Like, they just published the 3rd book. So the first 2 books are no longer available. So if you guys haven't like been able to get physical copies of, that's why. Because when I looked on like States, but Canadian Amazon just loves ripping us off because what is like $15 in the States is like $45 in Canada on Amazon.ca.
Yeah, I think what happens is what it is independent buyers. They buy these books just randomly. They could care less about them. But then when they see that they're out at Amazon, they hike up the prices, and people actually buy them, which is really sad because they don't look at anywhere else for deals and stuff like that. That's a side note.
So I think, Melanie, you found yours at christianbooks.com.
Yeah, but actually, I think I got the last one because someone commented, I think, that it was out after I had purchased, just like right after I purchased it.
Yeah. So Nadine was actually very sweet and actually sent me all 3 of them on ebook. So that was very, very nice
to me as well. But the thing is that it's so hard for me for ebooks. I want the physical copy. I want these on my bookshelf. They're so beautiful. Look at it.
I know. So nice. If they do like a reprint of them, I'm all over that.
I'm really concerned if they're gonna do new covers and stuff.
And I'm like, woohoo, new covers.
You don't like these ones?
Oh, I love them, but then like maybe the new covers are gonna be even cooler.
No, I like these ones. They're so nice.
Wow. Okay, so Carrie bought hers for $25 a piece.
Whoa, good job, Carrie. You're supporting a very nice author.
That is like a cheap
$25
here in Canada, though.
Was that at a bookstore?
I don't know. Oh, she bought them because of the covers. See, cover buy.
I know.
So I guess we can kind of do an overall since we kind of digressed. Oops, that's not my book. I was like,
you're already showing the next one. Okay. So so is there any, and people can talk about this and ask us too, is there anything else that we're missing that you guys want to chat about?
Nope. So far, we're still talking about book prices. Well, like
you're so bad.
Overall, I was so excited just how Olivia, you're so funny. She's like #America. Just overall, this book had me on edge, gripping. I actually didn't go into it with high expectations. Like, I knew Nadine from, well, I connected with her through Sarah Ella and connected with her all her social media through there. So I knew about her books and everything, and I knew about her and I knew of her, but you know, I hadn't really read them.
I can't remember how I found out about her. I did see her for like a year or something beforehand, but I knew she was coming out with book 3, and I really did want to wait until all the books were out to buy them all so that I could follow the series. What am I?
Okay, so
I'm watching you going, oh, she's reading something I'm missing.
I know, I got all the question. Okay, so Haley wants to know what we think about the length. Was it too long or too short? And for the pace of the book, it was perfect because it didn't feel like it dragged on the pace. It left me at a really good cliffhanger that, you know, I need to read the next book, but it still wrapped up stuff in the first book and introduced the next book. Like the cliffhanger wasn't just let's cut everything off and leave you guessing. It's wrap this up, give you an introduction to the next book, and then kind of move you into there.
Yeah.
That's a well done cliffhanger. It was just like boom, and you're like, oh, what? And so
There
like
was
you're
still
already
some stuff that was left missing too much for me, but for me, the length was a bit, to be very honest, was a little bit exhausting. I actually was exhausted about halfway through just because of some of the stuff that was going down. It was just like, this girl needs a break. I need a break. This is too much. So I think for that issue, maybe a bit shorter. But
yeah.
for overall, the book is under 400, and anything under 400, I'm pretty happy with.
It's a good book. What are we wanting in the next book?
Good question.
I have no idea.
I have so many answers that I want. I want to know what the High City has involved with everything that's going down. I want to know about this weird preacher that totally gave her false information. But I want to know.
Oh, yeah, that was annoying.
What his role was, why he was in there, how come he controlled so much stuff, and like what his. There's so much questions about like the Hawk issues there, like and behind the scenes, like, and of course I wanted to know why Canada was involved and if it will be later.
You know, the Canadians are just like, oh, we got
Wait, Canada's in this one.
I know. We're like, in the
We're
States,
lame.
right?
It's okay.
I mean, like this dystopia. It's like you always just mention United States. It's like, well, you know, Canada's connected. So what happened to us? Like, are we just up here playing hockey and having Tim Hortons? Like, well, the U.S. is like
exactly. So
Hunger Games. Yeah.
that was one of my little things I wanted to know about.
So I love triangles. So how are the love interests? Is there a love triangle? Like I said, it was a
small one.
very small one. It was a very confused triangle, and I think because Paraben has paid no attention to the guys in her village because she grew up. Again, another thing that I identified with her is that she grew up being bullied, and I grew up being bullied and having that same feelings with her, and so the disinterest in any of the guys in her village. But then when you introduce making maple syrup, yes, Olivia.
Oh, that was so fun.
But the love triangle, it wasn't in depth and it doesn't really go anywhere. And it wasn't really drawn out because it couldn't be, because I think Paraben had the respect for the two other people involved where she didn't want to hurt one or the other. And when she realized the connection between the two, then she kind of wanted to enjoy that friendship and that kind of protection she almost got from both of them.
Yeah,
rather
it didn't go anywhere with either one of them. So I mean, you can't really, it does, but it doesn't. So there's not really like this triangle sort of issue, but there is like, it's more concentrating on the world and like going through things. What are you laughing
about? The Canadian comments are great.
Oh, okay. I'm like trying to concentrate, but I'm like, all I see is you grinning over there.
Well, okay. So the comments like, Dee didn't see a love triangle. No, there wasn't a District 12 type ending. It's not a Hunger.
I would say very like related to the Hunger Games, though, you guys.
It's got actually, like the separation and the different like classes almost and ideas, but I don't think there's like
a lot of like things in it that totally remind me of the Hunger Games. And actually in the interview that I saw with Nadine, she actually wanted to write a book based off of the idea of the Hunger Games. And so a lot of this was birthed out of those thoughts, and you could feel that sort of
and maybe that's
dynamic.
why I like it so much, because if any of you guys have followed my channel, you know I'm like a Hunger Games fangirl. Like Hunger Games is one of my favorite books of all time, and you know maybe that's why I liked it so much, because it had some elements and some feel to it, but was still really its own story. So it was really good. And then at first there's a love triangle, and then Olivia is sobbing. Well, that yeah, spoilers, Olivia. Come on.
Well, nobody knows why she's sobbing, though. It could
Right.
be anything.
So apparently, the Canadians, when the dystopian world is going around, we are eating poutine, having horse police, which are called the Royal Mountain,
The Royal Mounties. We can just
the
call
Royal
them
Mounted Police for it. Yes, our Mounties. We're pretty proud of our Mounties. And we're gorging on maple syrup, which, by the way, I hate maple syrup.
I love it. Love it.
So, yeah. Oh, look, Nadine just popped out. It's somewhere in the middle of Oregon. Hi, Nadine.
Oh, hi. Welcome. That's so exciting.
So she can't load the video, but she can see the chat though. So
Sweetness. That's so cool.
I think Olivia's having a fangirl moment.
Let's all just flare around.
So yeah, Nadine just said hello, and we make her smile. So hi, Nadine. Thanks for stopping
You're the
by.
best. Thank you so much for your wonderful, wonderful book. We love it.
Oh man, that's so fun. Yeah. So yeah, apparently we Canadians we eat a lot up here.
Thank you, Nadine, also for putting Canada in your book. We're so excited about that, obviously.
Oh, and so okay, so Haley says when in calls the heart. So yes, when calls the heart is about a Mountie who is very nice to look at, especially in his red uniform. And Mountie, MOUNTIE.
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyways, we were saying how for Nadine, because she just popped on,
Yeah.
how we were excited about what we're looking forward to in the next book, because we've only read the first one, me and Angela. Some of the other people on here have read other books, and so we were saying how what we were excited about for the next book. Angela hasn't said hers, but I did mention that I was excited to see what role Canada has to play in it, because you mentioned it in your book. That's why we got on the tangent of Canadians. Anyways, go ahead, Angela. What are you excited about in the next book?
I want to find out what Skelly is up to. I want to know where he's decided to go with this. And I also want to find out what Solomon is going to do, because I liked those guys. I liked Jude and Solomon. I really want to find out more about Jude's history and how that's going to play into everything. And just Solomon, I liked him.
Yes.
I couldn't really pick which one I like more.
Yeah, that was really tough until further, but you know.
Oh, Nadine is also a fan of When Calls the Heart. So,
super cool.
Yeah. Have you watched it, Melanie?
I have heard a lot about it, and I think I've seen a couple commercials about that. Yeah, I have, and I've heard that they are just the thing. And like I actually saw the hashtag Heartsies or something from like Candace Cameron Bure. Was it her? No. Yes, it was with her and the other actress.
Yeah. It looks like Solomon and Jude killed somebody's soul. Haley. Yeah.
Aww. Haley, yeah. We feel for you.
But, okay, there was a question. I kind of want to. Do your police ride through the I was going to say y'all, but I'm going to say it wrong. So, do y'all's police ride through the busy streets and pull you over? Okay, so the Mounties, yes, we have. We do have some. We do have some mounted police that do ride through like bigger cities, like Toronto will have, but like the core areas, so like more like the parks and the touristy areas, but there are actually like legitimate RCMP officers on horses.
Yes.
But the red uniformed ones you guys see on horses are part of the musical ride across Canada.
Yeah.
So they actually have like synchronized horse rides,
really beautifully done. Yeah.
Which are incredible, because in my small town, way back where I used to live, I actually saw them, and it was just really well done. So
it's a military action on horse, but done lyrically. It's really cool.
Yeah. So most of the red uniformed mounted on horse, like the horse riding ones, are ceremonial. The red uniforms,
we do have them in town, like Angela said.
The red uniforms are still mainly for ceremonial purposes, even if they're not part of the musical ride. Yeah. But you'll still see the blue and kind of gray and the normal cop.
Now we have them on motorcycles and bikes.
Yeah, we have bikes. You should do a whole live stream about Canada. You know what? We should.
If you guys are interested, we would be down with that.
And then let me make Canada jokes the whole time. Okay.
Sounds good.
If you
Sounds
let
good.
me make American jokes.
Oh, okay. I'm totally fine with Canadian jokes.
Oh, they're cool with that too. They say we deserve it. Okay, cool.
Okay, that's fun. We can talk about that next time. So I'm looking forward to a lot of those things that you're also looking forward to. But like overall, this was an incredible book. Super on the edge of your seat. Very much like the Hunger Games, like we talked about. There's so many elements of this book that were really important to talk about. Like you said, bullying. There was issues about faith and forgiveness and so many cool elements that we like only just kind of touched on, but very, very awesome and deep thinking.
Yeah, and with the with the Hunger Games, because it was inspired by the Hunger Games. With the Hunger Games, I mean that's what you said. Nadine said. Nadine, if you're in there still, like because it had such a Hunger Games feel for me, like the way Suzanne Collins wrote that, I instantly connected and felt for Katniss and was so invested in Katniss. And then with Parvin,
is it Parvin? Nadine, is it Parvin?
Or Parvin? I'm so sorry. I'm terrible. So, how do you say it? Parvin? Parvin? Melody?
I think it's Parvin.
Parvin. Okay, so anyway, as Parvin, like, because I related to her so well of being like the kid teased and then having like that feeling of not doing anything with your life and having limited time left, even though like I don't actually have limited time left. It just feels like that when you turn 30.
You just don't know.
So like I connected so well and was again instantly drawn into, and then so much happened, just like so much happened to Katniss, so much happened to this girl that made me like, I just need her to be okay.
Yeah, I know.
So Nadine is definitely planning on writing more books every day for the rest of her life. Yay.
Yes.
And she's finished with the Out of Time series, but there might be some novellas, winky face, because Haley was asking for some novellas.
Yeah, I mean, I would really like kind of a spin-off on Skelly Chase.
And there goes Olivia fangirling again. There is hope.
I love it. I wish you could see these comments. That's so funny.
Okay. We'll get you set up with this.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't figured out, I'm the technical one, and Melanie's the one with the memory.
Sometimes.
So yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
So any final thoughts, I guess? You know what I really liked was actually, and I even tweeted a picture of me making with maple syrup some food and stuff, and I was thinking like, how much more should I think about every day and like really appreciate like the days that I do have, because we just don't know. We're fortunate enough to kind of live on the edge of our seat. We don't know when God's going to take us home or how we're going to, finish this life that God has given us. And so it was like really important for me after reading this book. I really thought about it and thought, I need to enjoy the days that I do have and not be prone to wasting them. And not let things like that bullying issue define who she was. Like she stood up at the end because she had this courage to say, I don't care. I want my life to value itself. And I think I've wasted a few years on certain things that I thought other people wanted from me instead of doing what I thought was value to my life and what God wanted in my life. So the final thought and then what I take from this book is actually a lot of value to my life. So it was really good that way.
Yeah. Although I'm kind of glad I don't know the number of my days, because having a clock, like I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, well, guess I won't be wasting this day on Twitter, but I do end up wasting time on Twitter.
But then she also dealt with, which was really cool, Nadine. I'm really happy you kind of brought the balance of it, was that, people might go to the extreme and try to do all these crazy things, but end up hurting themselves and wasting their last days anyways.
Yeah, and some people said that it was eerie about the clock idea. Like, did it have a creepy, unsettling vibe to the clock? No, it wasn't creepy feeling. It was just everyone accepted it as a day, as a thing of life, And for the rebels or the people that were radicals, for the radicals that didn't have a clock for any certain reasons or destroyed their clock for certain reasons, without giving spoilers away, it was kind of like a lot of them knew already what their numbers were, but
It
it was
always
just
was in the back of their head, and it still played a role in their life.
yeah,
And
it was
that
like,
kind of was a bit not eerie, but very, hard for them as characters and disturbing in some cases.
yeah. Okay, that is a really good idea. So
Yeah.
Dee said, Nadine, would you plan on releasing the pages from Reed's journal that was ruined? That would be so cool because that angered me so much.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, and then she ruined the journal, and I was like, excuse me, I wanted to know.
That's such an incredible thought. Nadine, you got to do it.
So obviously we don't get more of that because Olivia's all over this too. Oh, so another question. If you were in that universe, would you keep your clock or destroy your clock?
Ooh.
And I think because you're synced with your clock anyway, it doesn't really do you good to destroy it, except for it's almost like a take that to the society, kind of like Katniss and the berries, even though she didn't mean it that way. It was just the.
I do. I'm such a rebel sometimes. I might just follow the rebels. I probably would be like, yeah, okay, let's destroy it. Let's start a revolution. And then I'd probably be thrown off the wall. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but the Canadian border doesn't have a cliff, so we're good.
If I'm near it, what happens if I wasn't? The wolves were eerie. The wolves were eerie. There was parts there about the wolves, and they were very eerie. I would have to say that was eerie.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that part was kind of creepy. Yeah. I was just like, what else does she need?
But that's how sometimes life goes. You know what? Somebody was saying, well, life doesn't, go like in problem after problem after problem. And actually, if you were to write down all the things that you go through in one year, you'd be amazed at how much problems you go through, but then how many positives you end up with too.
Yeah.
So it is kind of incredible how much you went through, but it kind of is realistic in some ways.
So, Nadine because she can't watch. Oh, sorry, Nadine. We're talking to Nadine like she could watch her video, but she can't.
Oh no.
Because she can't load the video. Because the reception gremlin is controlling my phone. But thank you for hosting the chat. Yes, thank you. And when you watch it later, then you can figure out.
Yes. Okay? You can tell her she can watch it later on your channel.
Yeah. So like some people are saying they'd like trash their clock and live every day like it was your last. I mean,
that's a good idea. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. Like I was kind of like, all for the trash of the clock.
But even with your clock, you can live every day with like what Reed did. Reed did it.
Yeah.
But although it was different with Reed and Parvin because I'm trying not to spoil, but that is a terrible joke.
What was the joke?
You'd be plunged into the darkness that is America's obesity epidemic.
Obesity. What? Well, what? I don't know how that relates to the clock. I'm so lost.
I think that's like going off the cliff.
Oh yes.
Stay in the Canadian border. America is great though.
America is great. Actually, I found out my family came from the Mayflower. Came over to Canada through my father's side. But anyways, that's a side note.
Half my family was here first before everybody else showed up.
Yeah, my husband's side too. Anyways.
Somebody brought up country music.
We're so going on a tangent. You can tell that they're all after 9 o'clock there.
Well, it's just really distracting because he whips out American flag and sings national anthem. Which I must say, you guys have like a pretty sweet national anthem.
Yeah, I totally love your national anthem.
Memorized "O Canada."
Totally agree with you, Angela. I love singing that song, even in hockey.
Yeah. Hockey.
Okay, anyways, we need to get focused.
Yeah, we should probably wrap it up soon. So we need to stop distracting us, Olivia.
I love it. It's so much fun.
Please take country music away from us.
Oh my goodness. Actually, you know what? There was this really cool Christian band. He's like country music, but he's not. He's so cool. And I forget what his name is. If I remember it, I will tweet it out. But yeah, really cool.
No, please, not country. Oh, and then Texas is defending country music.
Oh my! Is the Battle of the United States?
Isn't "Oh Canada" like 12,000 verses? Okay, so it's not 12,000 verses, but it is actually a hymn.
Yeah, but we only sing part of it.
Like the first verse, because that one mentions God the least.
Yeah, and you know what? It all actually our national anthem is probably going to change, and I really hope it doesn't because I like ours. But
yeah, they wanted to change all thy sons command.
Yeah.
You make it more inclusive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, as a woman, I have been singing All Our Sons Command all our life, and I never felt any less patriotic.
I didn't even feel any less. Yeah, I'm thinking all sons, like all, like all people, all of the sons that have to go to war, or like, because I'm not going to go to but anyways, there's a lot about that, but I don't even want to go into it.
I think we might need to do a lot about Canada. Yeah, where I live, okay, so the prairie provinces, like of central Canada, is pretty much country music. So
is what?
Well, there's
country music, yes. So yeah, where she's at, there's total country music.
Yeah, Texas is kind of fighting for their country music. So there's like
the battle of the comments.
So, okay, what's the next book for our group? Thank you, Haley.
Yes, thank you for bringing us back on track. Yay!
Really? Okay, so the next book.
I want to see the comments, but I'm enjoying watching
country music, and you send us your overchecked hockey players. Oh man.
Oh! I'm going to hide in the corner.
Well, I mean, come on, at least like 80% of most of the teams down there are Canadians because we know how to play.
Okay, let's not have a battle here. All right.
Okay.
Focus books.
So I hope this isn't another difficult book for you guys to find, but we are doing The Sacred Scarred by Joanna Alonso for our next book for May. So I did post it in our group. I have actually all of our books posted until harsh. Thanks. I have all our books posted in our Facebook Goodreads group. Gotta stop reading these comments. In our Goodreads group until June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really love that.
I'll post it till July. So all our books until July are posted. Now, The Sacred Scar, Joanna Alonso is actually a member of our group. She contacted me and asked me to do a review for her book, which is a contemporary Beauty and the Beast retelling. And it has, again, strong Christian values, amazingly written, and this book might be a little difficult to oh, hi, Jenna. Welcome to the party.
Hi, Jenna.
So this book might be a little difficult to find because Joanna it is an indie print, and Joanna does live in the Philippines. So
however, though, really quickly, I want to interject. If you contact her and you need a physical copy like me, she is extremely willing to work with her friends. If they are flying out, then she can do it. But for this month, it may be difficult to get the paperback version.
Yeah. And and I got a comment. You like them posted in advance. Perfect. So we will start posting the books in advance on our group so you guys can get the books, because I think most of our books now are pre-ordered. There's Melanie Dickerson book coming up.
Yay!
There's another Sarah Ella book coming up.
Yay! I know, I'm so excited.
You guys can pre-order all of those. I know I will be. And this might have to be ebook, or like I said, contact Joanna. She might be able to get you a physical book. You could get them. It's
going to be tougher because she needs time to send it out, and they're very expensive for her because she is in, where is she again, Angela?
Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I know, like, I picked this one because, like Joanna mentioned, she did get a lot more books sold because of my review, and that made me feel really cool to kind of help her with that. And she is an indie published author, and she
And
Like,
we
it's
really
just,
want to support all authors, not just the ones that are coming out, but like, and it's a Christian-based story. So I was really excited when you mentioned it. So I am totally in support. It just might be a little bit more difficult for some of the members of the group to get the actual physical copy. If you don't mind ebook, then it's all good.
So it looks like it is on Amazon for some people. So it might be on Amazon.com better than it is on Amazon.ca.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we get ripped off on .ca.
Yeah.
So you guys can find
We
it
need
on the
to
American
protest.
Amazon. Go hard. But yeah, so Joanna contacted me. I gave her a free and honest review. I adored this book. I gave it a 5-star rating. You guys will not be disappointed. Yeah, it's just, overall, it was just such a good read, and it's a really good Beauty and the Beast book. So now there's like an Anne of Green Gables. Oh, Melanie, do you have Instagram?
I don't, and I know I probably should have it, but I actually don't know how to use it. I don't know anything about it.
So Melanie is going to come visit me this summer, and I'm going to give her a techie overhaul, guys. So Melanie will have all of her tech updated for you guys when she comes and sees me this summer.
Yes, so, I do plan to do that, and Angela's going to totally hook me up.
And yes, Anne of Green Gables is Canadian.
Yes, love her. Well, actually, yes.
Where did Anne of Green Gables come from? Gilbert is my husband.
Oh.
Okay, you guys are just up way too late. I'm gonna have to keep okay.
So funny.
So next book.
I'm really happy though all of you guys are joining us, because this is so much more fun when there's more people hanging out.
So yeah, so next book is out. And then in June, we're doing The Noble Servant by Melanie Dickerson.
Yes.
And
which I think actually a lot of people have been kind of following the reviews, and I think a lot have already read it. So that'd be kind of fun to talk about that.
Yeah. So, and so Jenna says, I don't have Instagram either. Don't worry.
Okay, thanks.
And then I follow Angela. Aw, I'd love to follow Melanie. Oh, okay, cute.
Thank you.
Anyway, I feel the love. So, permanent state of oh dear. Okay, anyway, I gotta stop reading.
Olivia?
No, it's not Olivia. It's Love at First Page.
Oh, okay.
I don't know your first name, Love at First Page. But yeah, so yeah, Melanie Dickerson, we were at first not wanting to overload Melanie Dickerson's books, but we couldn't really get away from it. So
but definitely when we're in these videos, or
we have to read them.
Or if on our on the channel, or not the channel, or you can do it on the channel, but on our Goodreads group, you can comment if you guys find and you come across a book that you guys think that will be good for our group, that you want to get our opinions about, you want to read together. Don't hesitate to mention what you want. There's already a thread, isn't there, for that?
Yeah, I put up a recommendations thread, so if you guys have recommendations, throw them down there. We might do like a poll or something on our Twitter to pick the book. So, but we need recommendations because, and I told Joanna when she wrote this that Christian YA needs more of her, and we just need more of these types of books in the mainstream. So, and yes, I loved Melanie's Regency series. Bad. So, and then Haley. Oh, we have 2 Haleys in here. Okay. Anyway.
Sweet.
And a lot of Melanie Dickerson love, so obviously we're going to...
I love Melanie Dickerson too, and so does Angela. We have no problems with it at all, actually.
Yeah. And then we're going to continue with Sarah Ellis Unblemished, because she was our first author guest on here. So we're going to do Unraveling, which is coming out in July, so I'm very, very excited for that. I did a little bit of reading because I got a NetGalley ARC. So,
I'm not jealous.
Yeah.
But I wanted to also mention as well to everybody that's on here, if you guys want us to do an author interview like session again, like we did with Sarah Ella, and you guys have a favorite author that you want us to do, and you see their book coming up, or you've recommended their book, also mention that so we can kind of try to do something fun like that.
Oh, Haley has not read a Melanie Dickerson book yet.
Ooh.
And the feed goes crazy.
Which one would you recommend her to read first?
The first one, obviously.
Yes, you would say that. Oh my goodness. I read Golden Braid
Yeah,
first.
don't do what Melanie did, Haley. The Golden Braid is the 6th book. Melanie started with that. Can you please go
I know, it was so funny.
get the what?
Go
I
get
can't even remember the first
the Healer's Apprentice.
Healer's Apprentice. Go get the Healer's Apprentice. Read the first 5, then the Golden Braid. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Don't pull a Melanie.
Or you could read the first one of either the Regency retelling series or the Thornback, because there's only 2 in each of those.
Currently.
So if you're getting like
Noble Servant is the 3rd one.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay, I'm really confused about that. Seriously, Angela, are you serious? Like the Noble Servant is the 3rd in the in the Thornback series?
Yeah. Okay, so what Melanie said.
I thought it was like the 3rd. I thought it was like this.
No, because so Thornback and Beautiful Pretender and the Noble Servant, they're the 3 books. But
They look the same as the other ones.
Thomas Nelson decided to change the cover of the last one to match her other YA books. I had this conversation with Melanie.
Did you?
Yeah, she was like, it's dumb. I'm sorry, but they wanted to, because the Thornback is.
I feel like so like. I have it beside the whole series. I have to change my whole bookshelf. This is a dilemma.
I just put my hardbacks on a shelf. It's the only series that's separated. My hardbacks are separated and my paper, it's depressing. But yeah, so guys, I see some confusion. So the Noble Servant is the 3rd book to the Huntress of Thornback Forest and the Beautiful Pretender. The cover is different because the first 2 books were marketed as adult Christian fiction, and the 3rd book is being marketed as young adult, so they wanted to match the young adult series, which is the Hagenheim. And that is as uncomplicated as I can get to explaining it.
You did a very good job, and I totally understand. I just don't like it.
Yes, and if you hate cover changes, see my pet peeves video.
Yes, I did see that one.
As I throw in some self-promotion here.
Yeah, I did see it, and I felt that video.
So yeah, it is part of the Thornback series. So if you want to catch up to the Noble Servant, you read The Huntress of Thornback and the Beautiful Pretender.
You know, I've seen some negative thoughts on that book, so I'm wondering if they thought it was like part of the series and that's a bit of the downfall. I don't know. I'm kind of confused about that. We'll have to chat about it more when we come to that book.
I could do a whole show about this.
I know.
But speaking of show, it's 9 o'clock here. I don't even know how late it is where y'all are. So
probably like 11, coming to 11 if it was, they came on about 9 when we started. So they're going to be getting close to 11.
Yeah, I don't think we lost anybody either. Way to go, guys.
Oh, you guys are the best.
All right, so we're going to wrap up and say goodnight because Melanie's got 5 kids to put to bed.
Yes. Well, they're not home yet, so I get to text Daddy and say, come on, bring him back in. It's all good.
Yeah. Jenna, where do you live? 1 p.m.? Like, you mean like afternoon?
So you're like in Australia or something?
She's in Australia. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I totally got that one. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I got an Australian following us. It's great.
That's so cool. That was such at the top of my head too. I was like, wait, the opposite of the whole world for me.
Yeah, we're like, never mind. Anyway, before we go on another tangent. Yeah, so we're going to wrap it up because Melanie's got to, this is like the one day a month she kicks her entire family out of the house.
Yes, I do. I actually do. Except for my mom. She just stays quiet downstairs so I don't bug her. I'm like, everybody out, eat and run.
So we're going to wrap it up so we can say goodnight. I got to work tomorrow.
Good night.
So,
thank you, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, guys. And we'll see. Oh, our next live show date is June 12th.
Dun, 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 dun.
Sorry, June 12th. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. Man, we're so distracted. June 12th, we are doing the Sacred Scarred live show. We actually have a date for you guys. Same time, same place. Now we're saying goodnight.
Night.